you have to understand, in a channel such as this, where you've gotten historically corrective price action and things have been choppy, it is not a good place to leverage trade. There's too much up and down price action. It's too choppy. This is not good leverage trade sort of environment, right? Because in a leverage trade environment, you need to set a generous, or you need to set a good stop, right? And if it's too generous, then you increase your risk too high, right? Obviously, you can go low leverage, but I'm just trying to explain what makes for a good leverage trade scenario and what doesn't. And this doesn't. And I've been saying on this channel, this is a good place to spot buy the bottom of the channel and just wait patiently until it gets to the top and take your 27% in Bitcoin. And in an altcoin, that's going to be twice as much, if that, maybe 3 times as much. So this is my play on price action. This is my read on price action. My next resistance, once again, I'm seeing at 45K. My next major resistance, I'm seeing at 50K, or depending on when the top of the channel hits, given that it's sloped, slanted to the upside, it could be at 50K or a little bit before 50K, or even up to 51K. Okay. Hello everyone, my name's Steve. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is April 22nd, 2022, and Bitcoin is looking like it's preparing to make another leg to the upside. I'm expecting a 10% pump in the immediate short term. All right, what do we have here? What is Bitcoin doing? Not only are we going to look at Bitcoin's immediate short-term price action, but we're also going to look at our favorite altcoins, Revain, Kadena, and Verasity. If that interests you, then watch until the very end of this video. Hope you're all doing well. Now, what is Bitcoin doing? Right? Many of us did not expect such a harsh rejection at this point. Some of us did. Some of us didn't care. All right. And what's my point here? My point here is that we are, and I'm gonna hide this for a second, and just to underline this point, okay? We are in a channel, okay? As I've been saying on this show for quite some time, we're in a channel very clearly, and we're at the bottom of the channel. All right, towards the bottom of the channel, it's a good idea to buy or long a position towards the top. Okay, it's not a good idea to trade in the middle of the channel. This is why I said 2 episodes ago, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, once we got here, I said last day to long Bitcoin, or to buy Bitcoin for this move, because your risk increases substantially when you approach the middle of a channel. All right, it's common sense, right? Because you reduce your reward and you increase your risk, so it's not a good trade, right? You're always looking at risk to reward. Obviously, you're expecting the asset to reach the top of the channel, right? Given that you're getting ping pong price action from the bottom to the top to the bottom and back to the top. However, it's not out of the ordinary to expect a rejection from the halfway point of a channel. This is common, actually. The 50% marker of a channel is staunch resistance, quite usually, right? You have, when you're below it, yeah? So you have resistance here, you have resistance here. I didn't call this out because yesterday's episode was based on my long-term kind of vision of the market and my plan, right? My trading principles are patience, perspective, and planning, right? You need, in order to do good planning and have good perspective, you need a good long-term plan. And so yesterday I offered that in yesterday's video. If you didn't catch it, then I welcome you. I'm going to link to it right now on the upper right-hand corner of the video. Please watch it in order to plan and successfully and strategically make a lot of money or make as much money as you possibly can in the market, you need a decent idea as to what is going on or what is likely to happen. And so this is what I provided yesterday. Anyway, not to digress, again, we're at the 50% level of the channel. We got some rejection. Does that mean that we are losing this move to the upside? Absolutely not. Does this mean that we're going to crash and burn and break the channel to the downside? No, not at all. This is a welcome correction. Why is it welcome? Let's turn on our indicators for a second. You see that we have managed with this correction to take our stochastic RSI back to the bottom, right? So we're now planning to return to the top. So this is good because we're back to oversold territory. And that means we can have a nice big move to the top before even worrying about being overbought again, okay? So this is why it's welcome in that way. Also, you see that you have some really nice sort of support. You have some good buying action at the golden ratio of this move, okay? So this move went up, went down, but it's getting a lot of buying support at the golden ratio. Just to prove that to you, pull out the Fibonacci retracement tool. And I believe that this is the top of the wave right here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up here. And so here we have a lot of buying action between the 0.5 and the 618 Fibonacci retracement levels. So for me, in my analysis, this is a nice 1-2 wave price action. Okay, so and now I'm going to show my elliott wave count for this move. So let's reveal that. Turn this layer back on. Here we go. Again, I'm seeing this as being the wave 1, all right? So I see 5 waves here. If you don't see it, it's something like this. Let me turn the magnet off. It's something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also measure all of this using Fibonacci extension tools, and you'll get good proportions that we expect. Now, what does this mean? If this is wave 1, this is wave 2, right? I have my ABC correction, my flat correction here. That looks something like this. Okay. Then I can expect a wave 3. And wave 3, we know, typically extends to between the 1618 and the 2 Fibonacci extension of wave 1. So we take our Fibonacci extension tool from wave 1, retracement of wave 2, and actually let's turn the magnet back on. Let's try that again with the magnet. So bottom of this, top of wave 1, which is I think about here. Retracement of wave 2, you see that this next major, well, I wouldn't say a major resistance, this next resistance, right, that I have an orange line at is close to our 1618, which is where we expect our third wave to end. So I would probably put that here and move this up a bit right there and move my line up a bit. So I'm expecting the next resistance of Bitcoin to come around 45,000, okay? Not a major resistance. Again, I only reserve that term for the top of the channel. This is where I'm expecting a larger retracement, all right? And a retracement probably back down. It could be back down to 48K, which was staunch resistance, right? Or even back down all the way here. I don't know, right? But in any case, I'm expecting some major resistance at the top of the channel. But until then, it's just, as I said before, I'm expecting Bitcoin to matriculate kind of in a slow and deliberate way up and through this channel, right? I'm not expecting any explosive moves. And maybe, let's turn on our VPVR, maybe the only move that I expect some kind of explosiveness in is the move between 48 and 50 just because there are very few orders in that space, okay? And actually, there are fewer orders between 42 and 45, okay? So I expect 42 to 45, so this next pump, the third wave, to be quite intense, okay, and relatively quick, but I'm not expecting any major volume, any major intensity until we leave this channel, okay? And I've said that before. This is where I think we're really going to see our volumes spike, okay? So this is my take on Bitcoin. Good trading is typically, not always, but typically boring, okay? So, for instance, I've been in spot longs ever since the bottom of this channel, right? But not in Bitcoin, but in altcoins, right? And it's been going up and down, and it's not particularly fun, but I have my limit orders to sell once I get to the top of these major structures, and then I get a good payday, and I don't have to waste time really, fussing over whether it goes up and down and up and down, and trying to get stopped out or liquidated or anything like that, because you have to understand, in a channel such as this, where you've gotten historically corrective price action and things have been choppy, it is not a good place to leverage trade. There's too much up and down price action. It's too choppy. This is not good leverage trade sort of environment, right? Because in a leverage trade environment, you need to set a generous, or you need to set a good stop, right? And if it's too generous, then you increase your risk too high, right? Obviously, you can go low leverage, but I'm just trying to explain what makes for a good leverage trade scenario and what doesn't. And this doesn't. And I've been saying on this channel, this is a good place to spot buy the bottom of the channel and just wait patiently until it gets to the top and take your 27% in Bitcoin. And in an altcoin, that's going to be twice as much, if that, maybe 3 times as much. So this is my play on price action. This is my read on price action. My next resistance, once again, I'm seeing at 45K. My next major resistance, I'm seeing at 50K, or depending on when the top of the channel hits, given that it's sloped, slanted to the upside, it could be at 50K or a little bit before 50K, or even up to 51K. So that's Bitcoin. If you find value in these kinds of analyses, please like the video, share the video with others, and subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed. Hit the bell notifications for daily Bitcoin updates and occasional altcoin updates. Now let's go into our favorite altcoins. All right, for those of you who are just now subscribed, why are these my favorite altcoins? All right, Revain, Kadena, and Verasity. These are my favorite altcoins because I've measured the phi ratio, and I've seen, by virtue of measuring the phi ratio, that these projects have the most upside potential in the path to Bitcoin making new all-time highs or potentially going to 100K, okay? So basically, I want to get the most bang for my buck on this next move up in the crypto markets, and so I'm looking for altcoins that have decent volume, okay? So I can buy a big bag, relatively big bag, and not be a major whale and not have any liquidity, and I can get major gains, right? So I'm looking for 30, 40, 50 plus X, okay? In Revain, the phi ratio is all the way up here. This is my red line. My phi ratio is at $1.15. That's the potential move for the B wave, right? Because we know the B wave can only extend to 1/618 of the A wave. So I measured the A wave, the initial breakup structure of this entire play. And so this is how I got the phi ratio, just so you guys know. All right. So quick update on Revain. Let's go on the 4-hourly time frame, turn off the log. And we see the same thing, similar thing to Bitcoin, right? We're at the bottom of this major structure, a major consolidative structure. And this structure is served as a way for us to print reversals, okay? So we have a reversal pattern, initial breakup structure, a B wave, and then now a mini AB, right? I call it a C-section. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And then for a pump. All right, I'm not looking to take profit on Revain until we get to the top of the structure, right? I'm waiting patiently. Good trading is typically boring. And once we get to the top of the structure, I'm expecting major resistance. Taking profit, I'm buying back in when we hit major support, most likely over here somewhere. And then I'm playing this next move up to my next major resistance at a penny, around a penny, okay? So that's Revain. Nothing's really changed. Good trading is typically boring, my friends, all right? This is where the money's made. If you're buying and selling and buying and selling and trading in and out and trading in and out, you're probably losing a lot of money, okay? And if you don't know when to leverage trade or when not to leverage trade, you're probably losing a lot of money. This is stuff that I learned, the hard way, right? But you don't become a professional without earning your stripes and really taking your licks. Taking your licks, yeah. All right, Kadena. Kadena is, again, like Bitcoin, like a Revain at the bottom of this consolidative structure. I do not expect for us to break down out of it. I'm anticipating for us to move up and to the top of these structures imminently, okay? So in Kadena, zooming in, I'm seeing, again, you have these reversal patterns, right? This is an A wave. This is a B wave right here. Let's draw this out. This is the initial break of structure of the downtrend. This is your counter B wave, right? And then this is your C section, what I would call C section A, B. So I anticipate a move up from here, right? What I call my reversal pattern, my A, B, and C section, I think most closely approximates what some people call harmonics. And I actually recently learned of this, the harmonics. Look it up. They look like my reversal patterns, okay? So something like this, and then here's my C-section, what I call the C-section, so the last bit before you move. It's basically a series of three, just like harmonics, a series of three corrections, right? Usually flat corrections, but sometimes zigzag, and that take you and reverse a trend, okay? And then the last bit comes after the last, the first wave, out, up and out, is the impulsive wave of the last corrective wave, right? And so we're literally at that last corrective wave right here, and we're about to hit the impulse to the upside. All right, so that is Kadena. Just hold tight, nothing to do here. This is, again, not a good idea to leverage trade these reversal patterns. If you can recognize you're in a reversal pattern, just try to buy the bottoms of it, right? So you can try to make it a range and try to buy the bottom of the range. So you have different opportunities to buy the bottom and then wait for your breakout, okay? So that's pretty much it with Kadena. And last but not least, we have Verasity. And Verasity, once again, is much the same as the rest of the crypto market, right? Most of the crypto market. But just like Bitcoin, you're in this reversal consolidative pattern, a huge one, right? After a sizable downtrend. And this was a range where you're ping pong up and down and up and down, expect to go up, find some rejection, and then break up and out, okay? And again, good trading is typically not fun. If you bought close to the bottom of this range, then you did it right. That's it. You did it perfectly right. Even if you bought in the middle, whatever, you're fine. Wait for the move up, take profit, wait for the rejection, consolidation, buyback, and then you did it right? You can clean that up, even if you didn't make the perfect entry. But zooming in, you'll see that, once again, you see these mini reversal patterns, right? This is your initial break of structure of the big downtrend, right? Let's just put it out. Your three-wave structure, your A wave, right? This is your, I believe that this is a valid B wave. Let's just check really quickly. Is this a valid B wave? No, it's not a valid B wave. That can't be a valid B wave because it retraces beyond the 1618. So that tells me that this can't be, this is an intra-wave correction right here. This is an intra-wave correction. Hope you guys saw what I did there, but anyway, this has to be your initial breakout structure right here. This was wave 4 of the previous downtrend. This is your initial breakout structure right here. Okay? And this is your B wave right there. And this is your A, B. So expect your breakout soon. But that's your reversal pattern for Verasity. This cannot be your initial breakout structure. This must be an intra-wave correction just because of, you know, this move being more than 1618 of this. And that means this cannot be B or a counter to that. All right. So yeah, basically, you know, you bought the bottom, just wait until it gets to the top. It's going to happen fairly quickly. Take your profit, rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Once again, like, share, and subscribe if you're not yet. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.